Hello, welcome. This is the Room Tour 2025. I am your tour guide, Napoleon the Young Goose. Nice to meet you all. And today we're going to be checking out my amazing room. I'm very excited to show you all. It's pretty hype, I must say, especially for an epic gamer like me. But first, we must punch in the epic gamer code to unlock the door. Yeah, this is real. Look at that. Beep boop bop boop bop beep boop bop bop bop. Yeah. Alright, I don't know what to start with. I guess let's go with Pikmin, the Pikmin. Look at that. Here's my Pikmin collection. We'll start off with the classics, the red, blue, and green. Red, blue, and green. Red, blue, and green. Red, blue, and green. Yeah, but I had these 3 plushes since like, I don't know how long ago. Maybe like since Pikmin 2. The Wii version, not all the way back then. I wasn't even born yet, I don't think. Anyway, up here we got the white one, we got the winged one, we got the purple Pikmin. And finally, we have the Rockman. You can really tell how much newer these ones are compared to like these ones. I feel like, I don't know, I guess maybe it was just like the year that they were made, but I feel like these ones had really big flaws. Like the eye on the yellow Pikmin is like smudged, and it also used to like smudge onto his ear. It was a really annoying thing that kept happening, but I just put like an Expo marker and I just kept like coloring it in when I was younger. But there's also, this is my second red Pikmin because the first one was chewed up by my dog one time and it looked the equivalent of like a zombie Pikmin. But like I was saying, I feel like these just all look a lot more newer and stuff like that. I love how small they are, so I could just easily just place them on my pillow. Finally, we have Captain Olimar, and then we have Captain Louis. I wish they made the president one from Pikmin 2. I wish they had like those toy strings where you pull it and then they have like the voice box. Like I just want to hear Louis go, Louis. And if they had like the president, I could just pull it and it goes, shut your. You know, from the game. No? Anyone? Alright, I guess it's just me. Now it's time to look at the wonderful wall of magazines. How I made this was I tore apart 2 magazines. One was a Game Inform magazine, where like the Wii era and like PS2 era. And then the other one was a Game Fan magazine, which had like Sega Saturn, PlayStation, and N64. So I'll show you individually like the highlights that I love the most. Starting off, we have our Lord and Savior, Gex Enter the Gecko. I had to save this one for over here because originally I started taping all of them up there first, and then I made my way over here to the bed. But I specifically needed to save this one for this area here. So I just wake up in the morning and I just see this beautiful face staring down at me. Right next to the Gexinator, we have an ad for the PSP. I feel like I never see any ads for the PSP or like any mention of a PSP, so I thought this one was really cool. Right next to the PSP, we have Animal Crossing City Folk. This one was alright. I feel like it's a little disappointing because this is what happens with like the Game Informer ones, which like they're sort of just like articles, like compared to the Game Fan ones where it's like such a beautiful graphic design. And for this, it's sort of just like a white piece of paper with just like the Animal Crossing characters just taped onto it. You'll see that like a lot of them, like Street Fighter, like I feel like there's a little bit more, but it's mostly like screenshots of the game, you know? There's no... We have a beautiful poster of Uncharted 2, which once when we get to them, there's like a lot around the room, mainly because for the Game Inform one, this was like the cover game for it, so they really milked the crap out of this one. Here we have the top 25 GameCube games. We're gonna review all these. Let's read through this page, see if these are any good or just absolute trash. Luigi's Mansion is number 25, which I think is a little wild, but what else? Super Monkey Ball 21, F-Zero at 18. The Pikmin series, which I like how they just label it as the Pikmin series, not 1 or 2, just the Pikmin series in general is number 14. Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes, Animal Crossing. And finally at the top 10 we have Soul Calibur 2, number 9 Mario Kart Double Dash, number 8 Beautiful Joe, Mario Sunshine, number 7, 6 Metroid Prime, 5 Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. I don't know about you, that's at number 5 is a little wild. Number 4 Eternal Darkness. Number 3, Smash Bros. Melee. Number 2, Legend of Zelda, and finally, Resident Evil 4 at number 1. I never played Resident Evil 4, but I heard that it's really good on the Wii. Clay Fighters 63 and 1/3. I'm pretty sure this is an extremely rare game, which I think is crazy, finding this in like a magazine. It's always fun to find these like super rare games, and wish that you were there to just buy it. They also leave like reviews at the bottom. I don't know what it really is. Like, this isn't an actual person, but it's all about painting 64-bit clay. Over here we have some upcoming N64 games. Move it. Down here we have the N64 upcoming games. I think this one's really cool considering that it says Kirby's Air Ride. That never came out on the N64, but it's also 89, 95, which I think is wild. Let's see if there are any other. Here they call Yoshi's Story, Yoshi's Island. Nintendo's ahead of its time for this one. $97.99, that's a lot of money for a N64 game, Jesus. Up here's this beauty, the first ever Resident Evil. It's really cool considering that it's like comparing the Sega Saturn to the PlayStation. It compares the Sega Saturn graphics to the PlayStation graphics, which PlayStation's a lot better. Really cool to see all the classic art to this, and it's even funnier to think that, I think for the director's cut, it has like, I think like Chris Redfield, but it's like he's live action for some reason, and he's like screaming on the cover. It's really weird. This definitely has to be one of the best ones. Street Fighter 2, which I just love the graphic design for this one. Just all the pretty colors. This reviewer says, I don't even know what that says. Here's Time Crisis for the PlayStation. This one's a really cool one, but I never had it. Also, I'm pretty sure it's super expensive considering the fact that it's one of those railgun shooter games, so it's like, I'm pretty sure it's supposed to come with like the gun to shoot at the screen, so that's gonna be hard finding that one. Here's another one, which I thought was really cool because this is when Crash 2 was in development, so it doesn't have the Wrath of Cortex logo on it. But honestly, I debated whether I was gonna put this one up because I didn't want to wake up with this ugly ass mug staring at me when I wake up. Stop looking at me like that. This is like the equivalent of like the Freddy Fazbear in like the theaters. We got Croc with the most crappiest 3D models in the world. Finally, we have Final Fantasy, which I thought was pretty cool, just seeing like the characters in the background, but most of this is more of like a report on, I think, the development, behind the scenes report, so. Over here, we don't have anything that great. There's another Uncharted 2, but I mostly saved like all the good ones for the wall over here. Oh, there's Extreme G, I don't know. Are there any Extreme G fans? I think the only cool one here is the Resident Evil movie. That's not a video game, that shouldn't be there. Top 10 lines in gaming. Let's see. Number 10, you rock from Guitar Hero. Oh yeah, I remember that line. Number 9, war. War never changes. The cake is a lie. This one's just ... 100 NPCs, most Japanese RPGs to date. Yeah, I guess, but it's not like everyone uses ... I don't know. Number 6, nuclear launch detected. Number 5, snake. No! Killing spree. Wizard needs food badly. What? Would you kindly? And finish him, Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I feel like that's a good one, but what the hell's Wizard needs food badly? I've never heard that in my life. Finally, I have this corner over here near my monitor. I really put all like the crappy ones here because no one's looking in this area. Everyone's gonna be looking at all this, but I guess we'll check out. I think really the only good one is the Ready to Rumble one. I think that one's hilarious because look at the crappy, look at that. Who made this? Ugh. That's basically all there is for the magazine wall. It's a very fun project that I did. It took me an entire day. And it's really disappointing that I have to take it all down now because can't have 50% of the wall. You know, I was so happy that I put all this together, and then next day I immediately hear that you can't have 50% of the wall covered, so that's great. It's mainly why I'm documenting all of this, because, you know, I want more than just pictures and stuff like that. And, you know, I'd rather have videos than nothing. Alright, what else do we have? Oh, guys, look, it's the thing from my one video where I did, like, the funny bumper at night. It's night as well. Whoa! This is my 3DS. Alright, time to show you guys my desk. Anyway, this is my desk. This is all my collectibles up here that I brought with me. I guess we'll just go through everything right here. Here's the infamous Napoleon the Young Goose official drink. Not sponsored. Lipton White Raspberry. I don't know what it is, I just constantly drink these things. If Napoleon the Young Goose ever had a video game, this would be used to regenerate health. Anyway, here's my Dreamcast collection. I guess we'll just go through each one. First, there's the logo, which I 3D printed back home, but it came out really well, and then I was like, oh, what should I use it for? I was like, you know what, might as well take the entire Dreamcast, and I'm very satisfied with how this whole thing came out. Originally, I thought I was gonna like fill the entire row, but I guess that was just my imagination. We have this all from the order I've bought them all. So I guess we'll start with Blue Stinger. It was the first game I got alongside my Dreamcast. Unfortunately, it only came with the disc, and the best thing I could do for this was buy like a shitty Etsy like thing. I mean, it's not really shitty, it's pretty good. Like, I'm pretty sure I tricked you, the viewer, into thinking this was the manual. But I thought it came out really well. But here it is, and sadly it has a Blockbuster logo on it. Disgusting. I always thought these were just like stamps I could like sort of just clean off or something, but this is permanent. I don't know why Blockbuster did this, but it's really sad. Also, you can see like a really weird crack up here. I've noticed this once when I first got it as well, but I don't know what the previous owner did to it. I don't know. But anyway, next we have Phantasy Star Online. I got it alongside Seaman for Dreamcast. But
Seaman for the Dreamcast.
I bought this one first because I saw it first and I was like, oh wow. And I didn't realize how it came, but apparently it comes with Sonic the Trial, which is actually a pretty cheap thing. I thought this would be like a lot more expensive because it's like a demo disc, but nope. Sonic Adventure 2 is a lot more expensive than this. Luckily this is my first one with the manual. I'm not gonna take the manual out because I feel like that's a hassle. But here we have the disc, the beautiful disc. When I first played this game, I only played for a little bit because, I mean, there's the online part and no one's gonna be online. You also have to have like an Ethernet cable, and I did not have that. I think I have one now, but still. Sonic Adventure 2, the trial. Whoa. I also love the art on the back. For some reason, there's no like cover, but maybe that's just how like the two discs, like the CD disc holder are. I don't know. Next up, we have Seaman for the Sega Dreamcast.
Seaman for the
This
Dreamcast.
one came in like the box as well, and I also have the mic right here as well. Unfortunately, it didn't come with like the foam part, but hopefully I could find like a replacement soon. This is Seaman for the Sega Dreamcast.
Seaman
I
for the
really love
Dreamcast.
this when I first got it, just because it's really stupid, but very revolutionary for the time. It's like AI before AI. It's a true classic in the Sega Dreamcast catalog. But you raise a fish with a face. Originally, once when I first played it, I got stuck in like the first stage of like the Seaman birth. Like I could not get the egg to hatch, and I was like, what do I do? I had to raise the temperature up like a little bit more than I had to. But I feel like the disc is in pristine condition. There's also the back, which has the legendary Seaman, such a mythical, majestic creature. Mythical and majestic creature, the Seaman. All my Seaman have died. Like, I played this like 4 times, like I had to restart about 4 times. And yeah, they all died. So the next 3 we have, I got at like a flea market, which coincidentally, once when I like first came home for the first time, I went to the flea market, and surprisingly people had just Dreamcast games lying around. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I wasn't looking the first time since I didn't have the Dreamcast during that time, but who knows? Here it is. Soul Calibur was the first one I spied with my little eye. Soul Calibur. I thought it was pretty cool, and I knew it was a fighting game. I've seen it before on like the GameCube, but I was never like interested in it. Here it is. The Soul Calibur. Why are you looking at me like that? Why are you looking at me like that? After playing this one, I feel like this is one of my favorite fighters, besides like Smash Bros. More like the arcade style fighters. I feel like this is one of my favorites. One of my favorite fighters. One of my favorites. I feel like this is one of my favorites. I don't know, maybe it's just easy, but you know, one of my favorites. Unlike Marvel vs. Capcom, when I first picked it up, like, I was having fun. I'll explain Marvel vs. Capcom in a bit, but here's the back. It has, I think, the most newest character in the Soul Calibur series. Unless this is the first one, I don't know. I'm not like very big on Soul Calibur yet. I'm not like very big on Soul Calibur. One of my favorite fighters. Just because this is like my first Soul Calibur game, but oh well. Next up, it's the Code Veronica. Damn. You could obviously see this is the Japanese manual. and that's because when I first bought it, it came with just this one disc. It's supposed to come as like the 2 discs, like the I almost call it Final Fantasy. It's supposed to come in like as the 2 discs, like Phantasy Star Online. I don't know what the guy was doing with this one, but luckily it had both discs. Later during the summer, I was able to get my hands on like a special edition of Code Veronica. But originally I was going to use the American version and then replace it with the disc inside that. You know, I'll just get it now, because it's right here. Here it is, the Biohazard Code Veronica. It's really cool. It has like a little slip-on. I've been debating with myself whether to tear this part off, because it's already folded, and there's like more of it underneath. I think it just says Biohazard Code Veronica. But what I had in mind was to sell this part and keep this as more of like to hide the fact that it's just a 1 disc case instead of a 2. So I was just gonna put it in like that and keep it like that. After opening this, I realized that the discs are like, they're way too cool to not sell them, you know? Like, look at these. It's beautiful. There's no angels in Code Veronica, at least not that I've seen. I beat the entire game, but I don't remember seeing anything like that. I believe this is supposed to be Claire's jacket during the game, like the red jacket she wears, but it's very cool. So, you know, I'm keeping them. I'm keeping it. It's mine, not yours. Yeah, this is probably one of my favorite games for the Dreamcast. Coincidentally, one of the game stores that I would usually stop by did originally have this the first time, but I didn't have a Dreamcast during the time. I went over there as soon as possible, only to see that it was sold, so coincidentally the next day I went to the flea market and found Code Veronica, so lucky me. Virtua Fighter, was it called the 3rd? Originally, I was not gonna get this one. Once when I first saw it, I was like, alright, I already got a fighter game, Soul Calibur, but it was getting to like the last second, I thought I saw somebody eyeing the Dreamcast games up, so I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna let you have that one. So I bought this one too alongside it, and it came in okay condition. Like, I don't know if that's supposed to be a part of it or not. It works perfectly fine, but well, I guess now you could see the back. Yeah, no, I just didn't want it. And then once when I played it, I don't know, I was kind of like on the fence of selling this one, because I already have a much more superior Soul Calibur. One of my favorite fighters. And then once when I played this, I was getting angry.
I was angry.
Especially when you couldn't use the thumbstick, you were only able to use the D-pad, which I thought really sucked. I guess that's the good thing about Soul Calibur. It lets you use the D-pad, or not the D-pad. It lets you use the thumbstick, so I don't know. Next we have Marvel vs. Capcom, the tag team fighter of the millennium. Wowee! I was on call with a friend once when they told me that the local game store that we usually go to had this game, but they didn't say if it was Marvel vs. Capcom 1 or 2, and I immediately assumed that was 2. And I went there expecting like to see Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and I was like, oh my god, I can't wait to get this. Only to see that was the first one, which I didn't mind at the time. After playing it, yes, now I do. I do mind. I could not get past like maybe like 3 rounds until like the CPU just becomes absolutely impossible. Maybe, I don't know, I just have to practice more with this game, but it just really makes me like mad. Like, usually I just have fun with video games, but for this game, it just makes me mad. Yeah, that's mostly all I have for Marvel vs. Capcom. I feel like it's a big series, but I don't know, there's nothing else to say about it. Next we have Jet Grind Radio. It really hurts me to say something like that. It's Jet Set Radio. Jet Set. I really don't know why they had to localize it, change the localization. I got this online. I got this alongside Evolution 2, because one day I was randomly like, wait, you know what? I remember an old store I went to once when I vacationed to Florida, and they had a website. So I looked up the website, and coincidentally they had the manual and the disc for the game. And I just used like a, oh my god, this really does not want to open. What the f? I just heard something like shatter or something. Oh my god, a chunk of the CD came off. What the f? What the heck? That is really wild. I don't know why it just imploded like that. All the wonders that happen on camera. Anyway, so basically what I did is I waited. What's it called? I ordered this like, maybe like the beginning of July, and then it came towards like the end of July, and by then I was just like, alright, I don't really care at this point. Like, I've been waiting for this for so long. I don't know what happened to it. I mean, yeah, you know, it's from Florida all the way to where I live, and it's a pretty far distance, but maybe I'm a little impatient, but I swear to God, there's something about like UPS, whatever it's called, something about UPS that just really takes its sweet ass time with delivering stuff. I originally played Jet Set Radio. It was on Steam at first. I know they took it down, which really sucks. I got that back in like 2021, and I loved the game ever since, so I was really looking forward to finding this game. They also had, I believe, Mac and X, which looked really cool, but it only had the disc, so this does not want to come back together. What the heck? Alright, I was mostly looking for like inbox games, mostly because, you know, it's Dreamcast. You're never gonna find anything else. You're never gonna find Jet Grind Radio with just the case, you know? So I always preferred that. And yeah, I basically printed out the back part and just took like an old CD case that I had from my cabinet. But I love the disc. I love the little disc here, you know? I love the disc here, like how it's a record player with all the Rudy's logos, which I thought that was really cool. You don't really get that in the Steam version. You know, once when I first played this game, at least the Dreamcast version of it, it really triggered me just hearing Jet Grind Radio instead of Jet Set Radio. It just was really weird, because I'm always used to the Steam version just saying Jet Set Radio. Alright, next game. There we go. No, Capcom. Here's the last one that's displayed, Evolution 2. I first saw this and I was like, ooh, this is kind of cool. I made like a little edit, like one of the graphics that I made in one of my videos as like the Dreamcast. I think it's for like once when I was talking about how when I was in the store and I showed like graphics of like all video games. Evolution 2, I don't have the first game, so I was a little bit lost. Luckily, the manual explained like the plot of the first game, so it wasn't that big of a deal. It was a pretty fun game once when I first played it, but I got sidetracked with other things, so hopefully I do have the free time to play this game. Look, we got all the classic characters. And I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was a girl on the cover. It's not. I mean, I've only gotten through like the first dungeon through it so far, so maybe I'll make a review on it one day. Now, we have the games to the side, because, I don't know, I felt like that would be uneven, like, having, like, two of the games up. But, here's House of the Dead 2. I got this alongside, I got, like, the railgun for it, or whatever it's called. I just call it a railgun, Jesus. Like the Dream Blaster. I think it was one of the Mad Catz one, but it also came in box, so I feel like that's a really rare thing to have. When I was testing it out, I realized that you actually need a CRT TV instead of like the new modern TV that I have. So that was very disappointing, but it's still like a cool thing to have. House of the Dead 2. Prepare to send the undead back to the afterlife. I was really excited to play this game, mostly because a friend of mine just is really hyper fixated on House of the Dead, and she would not shut the hell up about it. But you gotta love those things about certain people. There's the Zombie. There's the Zombie from House of the Dead. I feel like a lot of railgun shooters, especially like horror ones, I love sort of just like the graphics on this game, which is really cool. I always saw this in like Sonic Racing, like the Sega All-Star Racing games. I always saw like the logo in like the one House of the Dead track. I thought that was always super interesting now to find out that this is what the game is. But yeah, House of the Dead 2, yay! Shenmue. We have Shenmue. This game so far, I was absolutely loving it. Once when I first played it, I was like, oh my god, look at the detail. It's so beautiful. This is a Dreamcast game? Oh my god. And then I started getting a little bit more into it, and I started realizing this game is really boring. Maybe it's a hot take, I don't know. But I talked to my friend who played like an hour of the game and immediately dropped it right after, because it's mostly like a quest of like finding certain things, like, oh, you have to find the what's it called? You have to find the barber shop and stuff like that. And then you have to find the barber shop, and then they're like, oh, no, we're closed. You come back tomorrow. You have to wait the entire day. You can't just immediately go to sleep or anything. You just have to wait the rest of the day, and it's really annoying. But I powered through it, and now I'm on disc 2, which I think is in the Dreamcast right now. I wonder what the passport is, which I don't want to like randomly boot it up, because I don't know if it spoils anything, but I found this at the flea market. It was after I bought, it was a random Sega Genesis game that costs, like the market value was like a $33 game. And I went into like the flea market store, and one guy who was just selling a bunch of like Japanese copies of the games, he had this, and I was like, hey, do you want to do like a trade-in? And he just gave me like full credit for the shitty like Sega Genesis game. It was some crappy soccer game. I don't know what it was, but it's just wild to me the fact that like he just gave it to me and then traded in, like we just did a trade-in for Shenmue, which I thought was kind of wild. I guess it just doesn't come with the manual, or maybe, I don't know, maybe it never had a manual. We have this, which is a gift from a friend. It's an official Sega Dreamcast magazine DVD. I guess it's a bunch of demos, and I mindlessly just put in my Sega Dreamcast and I pressed play, only to realize that this isn't a Sega Dreamcast disc. It's a CD-ROM, or not a CD-ROM. I think it's just some random PC disc. Oh no, it is a CD-ROM. Yeah, special edition preview CD-ROM disc, which is really weird to me. I don't know. Like, this plays a bunch of Dreamcast demo games, which, I don't know, I feel like that would only be available for the Dreamcast, you know, instead of a PC. But I don't know, I guess that's how you make bootlegs. Like, I feel like a CD-ROM wouldn't be able to run a Dreamcast game. We have the great Virtua Fighter. It's called 3TB. Oh. What I kept calling it? Like the third. Virtua Fighter. Was it called the third? We have Dynamite Cop, Trick Style, Toy Commander, and more. I don't have a CD-ROM, so I'll never be able to see what the and more is, so oh well. But it's still like a really cool thing to have. We got this big thing. I got a Facebook Marketplace deal, and this all accumulates to maybe like over 500. But we have a bunch of bangers. We have Dynamite Cop. We also have another copy of House of the Dead 2. Sadly, it doesn't work, so I'm just gonna like trade it in for trade credit. Both the discs are like a little bit like slightly different. It's really weird, but we got a few bangers, others not so much. We got Rayman 2: The Great Escape. Like I said earlier, I wasn't like a fan of getting all these games without the case and manual, but now after playing some of those games, I was like, you know what, maybe I'll keep them. But most of the crappy ones I'll probably just sell or something like that. Anyway, that was the end of my Dreamcast tour. What else? I don't know, that's an Earthbound poster I have over there. Here's the Dreamcast controllers. I brought 2 just so I could play with a buddy, you know? But I made a really stupid mistake, which was I have 3 memory cards. Just recently I got like the 3rd one right before leaving. I thought that 3rd one wasn't in one of the controllers, and I thought it was like on my desk. So I was like, you know what, I'll leave that one there. That was unfortunately my first one, and that first one contained like all of my save data for all these games. So I've mostly been playing the ones that have the 2nd memory card save data on it. I don't know, on the bright side, I could do this. I mean, it's not really going to do anything, but I don't know, I think it's cool. I mean, I changed the batteries for these 2, but I guess they just ran out pretty quickly, but whatever. They don't have any games on it, so it's not like I could do anything with it. Let's see what's inside the Dreamcast. I'm Shenmueing it. I'm Shenmueing it. I don't know what's next. We have the secret files of Napoleon the Young Goose. I actually use this to write either scripts or just like ideas for future videos. So, top secret, no touching. These are the 2 magazines that I spared, which I was actually really convinced to maybe like cut a few pages out for the wall. I'm glad I didn't, because like I said, I would have had to take them all down. Hopefully I don't have to rip any of the magazines like off the wall and they don't rip or anything. Yeah, we just have some really cool ones, all Nintendo related. It's Goku! Down here in the little corner, we have the Wii bag alongside the Wii. I'm Shenmueing Goku! Yeah, I didn't really have anywhere to put it, so I'm sure just keeping it in the corner. You know, safekeepings. I'm gonna turn the Wii on because I wanted to show you how cool my modded Wii is. Because I do like to make my own Wii channels. If you've seen some of my YouTube shorts, then you'll know what I mean. There we go. So here's my modded Wii. We got all the classics, got all the hood classics, Pokemon Rumble, Homebrew Channel, USB loader. Yeah, so we have a bunch of good ones. And then we have the Wii Evolution, Charlie Brown channel, classic. There's the Boomer Doom channel. If you've seen my YouTube short, then you know what this is. Very legendary. I'm sure once when I posted this during like the hype of the Costco guys originally, I feel like this would have gone like extremely viral, but whatever.
We bring the boom. That's what we do. We bring the boom. We bring the boom.
What's funny about this is that if I press plus to the next channel, if I do it too fast, yeah, the entire thing corrupts and crashes. Which originally I thought that meant like my entire Wii just got bricked. But luckily, once I just restart it, it's back to normal. That's basically all I needed to show. Finally, I'm gonna show all of my video games. Wow! All the video games I took with me. I guess we'll start with the 3DS. Yokai Watch 2. Holy crap, focus. Yokai Watch 2, Bony Spirits. This game was the last game I bought before moving. It also comes with, I believe, the medal. Yeah, it comes with the Jibanyan medal. Yay! I watched the anime when I was younger, but then I sort of like grew out of it. I kind of wish I didn't grow out of it because have you seen the prices for those games? Jesus. Next we have Rhythm Heaven for the DS, which I've reviewed for, I believe, some YouTube shorts, but Mario Bros. 3 for the Game Boy Advance. I believe they also have the bonus level cards. Let's check them. For some reason I found the AR cards in here, but here, look. There they are, the e-reader cards. And for some reason the 3DS AR cards. Here's my Wii Sports. I guess you could call it sealed because it still has the sticker on it. But, I mean, you could just like, you just sort of like just barely open it and just sneak the disc through here. You got the manual inside, but oh well. Bruh. Next we have Star Fox Zero. Wow. Yeah, no, I was not interested in this game. I just saw it. It was a pretty cool big box, but once when you open it, it comes with Star Fox Guard. I don't know what the game is, and I probably never will, because if you look closely, it's sealed, so. Star Fox Guard was so good, they just had to keep it in the seal. No one will ever know what a Star Fox Guard is. And then we have some of the classics. Probably asking Napoleon, why do you have these games here? You have the modded Wii, you could just take it with you. I have the ROM hacks, which you need the disc to load it, so.
Semen for the dream.
Here we have my collection of 2 books. You can tell I don't read. Now, if you don't know, I am obsessed with Soul Silver, so I had to get this. But, I basically got this during my, I think, basically like during the summer I started getting back into Soul Silver again. But, I want to catch them all, as they say, as the youngsters say. It's kind of annoying because I bought this specifically to like know how to get some of the Pokemon. Now, if you look closely, that also tells you how to obtain them, which is pretty cool, right? This is why, like, the whole reason I bought it. But then, for some of them, how to obtain it. Traded from Pokemon Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum. I don't have Diamond, Pearl, or Platinum. That's really stupid. Probably the most beautiful thing about this book is just the art of Johto. Like, look at that. Come on. I wish I could just keep it on this page, but I think it's just better having the book closed instead of opened and displayed like that. But here's my holy Bible, the thing I read every night. Mother 3. You know me. I love Mother 3. We love you, Mother 3. Yeah, I don't really have anything to say about that. I love Mother 3. Over here we have the manual for Smash 64. It's the Japanese one, but it looks so beautiful. And here's the beautiful cartridge. Wow. And it has the little nubs that gives us the region lock. One day I'll 3D print the piece I need for it and just enjoy it. Here's the legendary Napoleon the Yogi.
Semen for the.
Here's the legend himself. It's Napoleon the Youngest. There he is. Say hi, Napoleon.
Fuck you.
He's a bit camera shy right now. Here's my sealed Bowser's Inside Story. One of my most favorite games on the DS. I don't know, it was always super nostalgic for me, but it's signed by Charles Martinet. Cost me $80 to get it signed, but they're really cool. Here we have my beautiful Soul Silver. It's been such a long journey to find this game, especially with just like the box, like the big box itself right here. But I finally did it this summer, and now I'm proud of myself because I have the Pokewalker. I have the entire game in box, so that's $300 right there. Please don't rob me. I also have the Code Veronica up here. But here's the Metal Gear collection that I have. I originally got Metal Gear, like the trilogy for Switch during like I think Black Friday in November. I almost said no, not November. But I fully played through Metal Gear Solid 1, and then I was like, you know what, I gotta play the next two. Coincidentally, I would get the PlayStation 2 versions of both of these and play them on the PlayStation 2 instead. And then finally, I would find out that there was a Metal Gear Solid 4 for the PS3, and also a limited edition, so I thought that was really cool. So I had to pick that up. We're only going to be checking out Metal Gear Solid 4 just because it's the limited edition one. It's mostly just like a hardcover, and then you just open it. It's not just a video game. There's also a special limited edition like DVD, which we're also mostly just gonna check this one out. Tactical espionage action. Me when I'm on the toilet. I mean poopies. I've yet to use this DVD mostly because originally when I first bought it, I was just like, well, you know, I don't want to spoil myself with it yet. And then once when I finished it, I just didn't have the time to boot up the DVD, so. Is there anything else? Oh, there's another DVD. This one is the soundtrack, and then this one's just like a special bonus disc. I'm definitely have to look at that in my own time. But, spoiler warning. Spoiler warning! Right next to Metal Gear Solid, we have the Lipton. Over here we have our Majora's Mask. Over here we have the Majora's Mask and Luigi's Mansion. They both light up. I just don't have the battery for Majora's Mask. But I believe I do have the battery for this one. Yeah, look at that. It's very beautiful. I'm pretty sure it also glows in the dark as well. I believe it's like the footprints. This was a First for Figures item, which I'm surprised this one was very cheap because a lot of First for Figures items are very expensive. In my collection, we have the Super Mario All-Stars, like the 3 coins. They're mostly all just based after the box arts that came with the games, but on the back, Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Sunshine, and Mario 64. It comes with like the little display, but I just cut out the display because, yeah, I don't want to open this, but yeah. Anyway, that was basically all. Most of the stuff I collected over the summer, and I'm pretty proud about like how everything came out. You know, especially the wall, but hopefully I will be able to keep this wall up, but who knows. But our next video will be soon. I feel like this one luckily will come out much faster than the last ones. I guess this is just because this is like a completely different video and much easier to make. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Napoleon the Young Goose says, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm gonna drink all of my Lipton. And as always, take it with you. Bye.
Me when I'm on the semen for the Dreamcast.